Hey guys, Dr. Morse, injury expert. So Rashee Rice, big update. He is officially going to miss the first 6 weeks of the season, secondary to his traffic accident and hurting people and other issues that happened, I believe it was last year. Now, we initially heard that they wanted over 10 games and that he was supposed to have a hearing towards the end of September. I think it was the 30th. And many people speculated, including myself, well, is he going to wait until then to wait for the hearing to potentially miss games? But it sounds like on the inside, they realized that that wasn't going to happen and that they were actually trying to get ahead of this. And he is going to now serve the suspension from week 1 through week 6 and to be eligible to return in week 7. My suspicion is he's not going to need to require that meeting with prosecutors or whoever it is, because they're just basically going to say, hey, this is your crime. We'll accept your suspension terms. We'll avoid the 10 terms, but you're going to miss the first 6 weeks of the season, and he has to do jail time and a bunch of other stuff. With that being said, there is some good news coming out of this. First of all, his knee will be a little bit healthier, because remember, he was coming off of that significant lateral reconstruction injury that he worked with Dr. Reef down here in Miami to feel better with, and he's been doing amazing. He looks fantastic. That will give him an extra 6 weeks to work through that. Better than 10 weeks, not as good as 4 weeks, but we knew there was some suspension coming. In his 3+ healthy games, he had the second or third highest points per game. I believe it was second only to Jamar Chase, just ahead of Puka. They're right neck and neck. So super elite last year. Additionally, he's not going to miss any games with his suspension in the fantasy playoffs. And this is basically right before the buys start. So you will have a full squad to be able to plan for this, and then you'll basically get him almost like he's coming off IR. You'll get him in week 7. They do have a buy in week 10, so that's not ideal. But nonetheless, there is a chance that he could be a top 5 to 10 wide receiver from basically week 7 to the end of the season, baked into that. And you'll have to figure out who's going to take advantage in the early part of the season. I think Xavier Worthy makes a lot of sense. Obviously, the routes will be a little bit different. Travis Kelce, I think, makes a lot of sense. Even though I was a little down on him this year, I think this boosts up his value a little bit. Maybe getting engaged doesn't hurt a little bit. He still has a little bit left in the tank. We'll see how much. And then we have Jalen Royals, who I just did a video on regarding his knee issue, as well as Tyquan Thornton, the former Patriot, who's a speedster who could easily pull off the MVS type role. And then I also think Hollywood Brown, Brashard Smith, and we'll even see Pacheco contribute. So I think this is going to be a combination. There is no one specific player that can do what Rashee Rice can, but Jalen Royals is very similar in that regard, assuming he's healthy enough to pull that off. But I still like Rashee Rice. I would probably take him in the 6th, maybe the 5th, depending on how my draft is going and depending on the settings. But now we have a lot more clarity. So once he goes, it should be go time. And it shouldn't really worry about the knee. You shouldn't worry about suspension. You shouldn't worry about anything else. So relatively good news, although it's not as good as I would have hoped. We get some clarity and we can plan for it accordingly if you're drafting between now and the end of next week. Thank you for tuning in. If you're looking for draft help, check out the Injury Experts. We are also the home of updated injury reports that you can see on our website daily. Take care.